Right, welcome back to the 80 Star Basketball channel. This video is a little different just because of the fact I've made an observation. I've been watching the Jordan rookie, the Star 101 for about 9 months now, and 8 months, and I've been tracking, auctions, certain cards, certain quality types I'm looking for, and everything. And I've definitely noticed a shift in the last couple months. That's been fairly big, and I kind of waited for a little while to make sure that my observation was, pretty, set, legit, and it's what I was seeing over a period. And it kind of came to a head when in one of the Facebook forums that I'm in, and that the someone had a private sale, the PSA 7, and they priced it at 22,000, and I think it sold in less than a half an hour, with four serious buyers. You got to remember, putting it up, not everyone's going to see it at one time, so it takes a minute, and it sold like lightning. And I think the seller, or actually the seller, was surprised, like, oh man, I priced that low. And you wouldn't think so by looking at like some of the past comps and everything. You think priced about right. But from everything I've been seeing, I went, nope, that's sold because of what I was thinking, and I'll share in a second that, what I was looking at, and I went, no, I think I know why that did. And it goes hand in hand with my observation. So, but I do want to disclose first and foremost, this isn't, I actually didn't really want to do this video. And one thing is, one, I'm not out to hype the price of the 101, or really any card, actually. I'm not out to hype prices. I know that most people out there are for the prices and value, and that's what, has so many people involved in this hobby. And I'm actually probably one of the rare cases where that's not my motive at all. And at this point, when I was younger, definitely, value and all that, that's where I enjoyed it. Not now. This is, not an area. I know that's kind of, it's also hard for people to believe, but it really is. I'm probably 90, if you had to like take a percentage, I'm really probably a 90-10 ratio of I'm really just collecting. And do I have to sell sometimes? Yes, but it's generally I'm trying to get into another card or whatnot. But with the 101, this is really something that I want to hold on to and not get rid of it, because it's really just a card. The reason I bought it is I saw an opportunity. And 9 months ago, I have multiple copies. I have PSA and BGS, and I saw an opportunity, and the opportunity wasn't to make money. I saw it as almost, the opportunity I saw was a closing window. As much as this card is, I think this is, the most undervalued card in the hobby, and I think that what I think could happen to the price is actually what spurred me to buy it. I think this could be one of those things. It's a very special, rare story. The all the things that have been coming out, and it's changing. And so I basically went, I could be priced out of this thing very quickly. So that is why I actually went and bought it. And so I wanted to give some context of when I talk about it, because I don't want to, I really am not trying to hype up the price. If anything, I don't want the price to go up, because I would like to get another copy at least here, or several. So, and that's going to take some time. But from what I'm seeing, and especially so what I'm about to talk about, my observation, it's not that direction. And I could be wrong in my observation. That's what I'd like to hear in the comments too. But, again, I've been tracking this, and I'll start with basically the summation of it is that if you look right where it's scrolling, it says 30 cards across four marketplaces. As I've watched, I use this alt. It pulls in, the data from, where the multiple marketplaces to kind of give you a whole listings you can filter out and whatnot. But this has generally been at about 50. So in the last couple months, it has been slowly trickling down, and it's the first time I've seen that. Usually it stays within a range, and it's always been about 50. And it might go up, down by one or more, maybe a big swing would be five, but it's dropped by 20 plus in the last couple months. But not so much even that, as I've noticed the quality has dropped. And by what I mean by quality isn't just by the big number, the eights or the nines, that's not what I'm saying is the PSA eights. I'm talking about subgrades, quality of the card itself. When you get a BGS 7 or a 7.5 or an 8, you generally, because BGS has been doing it so long and the only one, you get a vast range, even across like an 8. You can look at some 8s and they would be like a PSA 6 maybe. Some might even be, if I could even say for some I've seen, I hate to say it, but it could almost be like a 5.5. And some are going to, maybe, but most will translate to about a 7, most likely. But I'm saying I have seen them go across such a range. And you really have to look at the subs or the card, and really this is a very card, this is a very subgrade sensitive, eye appeal sensitive card. And I've noticed that I'll show you some examples right here, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to look at these auctions. But here's an example right here of one that sold, and this got snatched for 29.5. I'm surprised this person put that up at this price, but look at these subgrades right here. You've got 8999. This would have been exactly what I went for. At this price, I would have paid, even so, premium 8.5s go for around, obviously you have your range. Your lower end subs are going to be in, somewhere in the high 20s, and your high ones can be in, near 40. And but this one, I would have definitely paid a premium for. If I'm going out, if I'm going to spend this type of money, I want to get something I really like. And I have no problem getting something, paying more for something that has subs like this and what I'm looking for. Again, for people who aren't familiar with the card, your left to right centering is always thinner on that side border, so that doesn't bother me that much. The centering on this card, 99.5% of all these cards are going to be all off-centered that way. And it makes it so it's kind of nice that, with a Fleer, an 86 Fleer, you have that frame around it where centering is, you want it perfect, or it bothers you. But this card, it almost is unnatural if you don't see it off centered. So there is a massive premium for centered copies, and especially centered copies that are in quality. That's why that PSA 9 is asking price is 1.5 million right now. But I wanted to show this, and another example of a high quality one is right here. Now this 7, you would think, oh, 7, and you're going to look it up on your comps and go, I will pay, even high for a 7 would be, for the Go is like 15,000. Well, this I would pay in a special premium for. This looks like a full size. I do get that the left to right centering is even more, by the 101 standards, this is even more off-centered than some of the others, or than most. But when you get subgrades like that, 9.5, 9.5, and 9, you are going to get a mass premium. And that is what I mean when I say quality. You rarely see these come up for auction. They're not up for auction. There's the set price. This person, they charged it, or put it at 25K, and you're probably thinking, no way. But I, as a buyer, I would actually value this one and would pursue this one more so than some 8s. I would. And so 20K is not one that I would consider this one. And that's what I mean by quality. You can look at it and go, because I buy the card, not the grade. Most people will see that 7 and be totally like, nope, I don't want a 7. And it's like, no, look at the card. Again, like I said, this is, and that comes into that personal preference. That's one of the reasons I do like BGSs on the subgrades and online shopping. PSA, you have the confidence of a very strong card, and you don't have to they've only been grading for a short window, so that you don't have that years and years and decades of different graders looking at it. But anyway, to come back to these auctions, so I've been noticing that those have dried up. things like that, those sevens that have 9 subgrades and quality cards at, either an auction or kind of a fair price. And by fair, I mean market price, so not fair. Um, fair is obviously whatever someone's going to pay for it, and but they, generally right around current comps market price. This 8 right here, I kind of looked at. This to me is a little higher than average. It's a nice 8 for sure. But this isn't like 9599, but you have two subs that are in and around the base grade of 8. You have an 8 and a 7.5, two very solid and high grade service and edge. But this is like a pretty a solid 8, I would say. So I'm going to be watching this to see where it goes, and I'm guessing it's going to go a little over the 20 range. The two that I am watching more are going to be this right here, going to be these two PSA 7s. Oh, by the way, the one thing that this, and you can see it right there, the one thing that's interesting about this auction that might go lower is that it looks like it's ending at a kind of a, I don't want to say a bad time. These times for the auction ending, it looks like it's going to end, in 22 hours, which would be, I want to say Pacific time is going to be around noonish on Saturday. That's not a good ending time for an auction. So this might be, something that people look at because that generally bad ending times kind of correlate to lower prices. So that might be something on someone's radar. But these two PSA 7s, these are, I think, there haven't been two PSA 7s coming out, except for in the vault there was one, but I have to take all vault until eBay has the fees on vault. I got to take all those prices with a grain of salt, and not just 101s and not just 86 Fleers. Essentially all big cards, prices can be anything. So this PSA 7 has, in both of these the centering is nice, and, they're just really strong copies. A little bit of white on the corners, but, that bite right there is a good centered card. The other one kind of knocks it out of the park. This one right here, and that's why its bid is much higher. They both have the same amount of time left. It's a Robert Edwards, 2 days and 3 hours left. So, go ahead and check this one out, and that'll be around going to be about Monday, and Sunday night. So that's where these will be ending. But that is just a beast of a card right there. So I think this one is, again, the range. This is a very eye appeal and range sensitive card. There's not too many out there. So if listings are drying up, you're starting to see the pressure build up for things like this that come out. And as the pressure builds, the price is going to go. It's hand in hand. And so I'm really watching these to kind of test my theory. Not so much the 8, again, because that bad ending time, I'm kind of looking at going, I don't know about that, where that ends. But I'm really watching these two as kind of a gauge, and kind of almost a bellwether type of, hey, is this what I'm seeing happen? Is the pressure building? Don't think that all of a sudden prices are going to skyrocket. I know there's a lot of people waiting and going, wow, why aren't prices jumping and stuff? And it's like, one, you're in a down market, but two, it takes time, and 3, sports cards aren't jumping, only if something very unique happens, like COVID and The Last Dance. That's when things, it takes, you're going to have to kind of give things time to play out, even with all the news, and that's what's making these cards very stable. But anyway, that's my observation of what I'm seeing. I'm going to be watching these for sure. And, let me know in the comments what you're thinking, and are you seeing the same thing? And any other observations maybe you have noticed. But, it's just something that I've been tracking for a while, so I kind of felt confident in saying it and throwing it out there. Anyway, throw the comments out and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.